The lights at the StubHub Center blazed against the California night as the crowd pulsed with energy. Every camera, every cheer, every heartbeat was tuned to one rising star, Ryan "The Flash" Garcia. Only 19, he carried a nation's expectation on his back, hands fast as lightning, eyes sharp with youth. Across the ring stood Jayson Vélez, the pride of Puerto Rico, a man hardened by years of fighting, a man who had once juggled shifts at a fast food counter while dreaming of redemption under the bright lights. As the referee spoke his final words, "Keep your punches above the line. Protect yourselves at all times." The two locked eyes, and the noise faded to silence. This wasn't just another bout. It was a battle between hype and hunger. The bell rang, and Vélez came forward immediately, rough and unafraid. Garcia circled, flicking the jab, testing the rhythm. Vélez smirked as the first left hook grazed his jaw, shaking his head like a man who'd seen worse. The young prodigy's speed was dazzling, but the veteran refused to be dazzled. He stepped into the pocket, smothering Garcia's rhythm, forcing him to think, to adjust. By the end of the round, both men understood the truth. This wouldn't be a showcase. It would be a test, a real one. As rounds passed, Vélez's intentions became clear. He wasn't going to fold. He pressed forward like a storm, chin down, eyes locked, throwing wide hooks that grazed Garcia's guard. Ryan's father and trainer, Henry Garcia, barked orders from the corner. "More jabs! Stay in the middle!" The young Slash obeyed, sliding left, letting his hands go in bursts of speed, lightning combinations that drew gasps from the crowd. Yet every time he landed, Vélez came roaring back, answering with looping right hands that made Garcia reset his stance. The Puerto Rican wasn't a gatekeeper tonight. He was a teacher, testing every ounce of the young man's composure. Bernard Hopkins, ringside, nodded with quiet approval. "He's learning," he murmured. "That's what this fight's for." Ryan predicted it would end in 4 rounds. But by the 5th, the veteran was still there, still swinging. The Flash began to slow just enough for Vélez to find rhythm, trading body shots, drawing the young lion into a brawl. Sweat flew, the crowd roared, and for the first time in his career, Garcia found himself in a fight that refused to go his way easily. The middle rounds belonged to youth and adjustment. Ryan Garcia stopped chasing the knockout and started studying his opponent. His jab grew more disciplined, his footwork cleaner. Vélez's forward march began to cost him, every mistake punished by a counter left hook that snapped his head sideways. But Jayson Vélez, stubborn as stone, smiled through the pain, his face marked but his heart untamed. Each round became a battle of willpower and precision. The Californian crowd rallied behind Garcia, chanting his name, while Vélez absorbed each blow and threw back enough to demand respect. Then came the moment that changed everything. A blistering left hook from Garcia that made Vélez's legs buckle. The arena gasped, flashes popped, but the Puerto Rican refused to fall. He stumbled, steadied himself, and waved Garcia forward, daring him to finish. Instead, Ryan took a breath, stepped back, and grinned. The kid was learning patience, the difference between power and control. From there, he boxed beautifully, snapping crisp shots, managing range, showing maturity beyond his years. For the first time, the Flash wasn't chasing speed, he was commanding time. Rounds 7 through 9 were no longer about talent. They were about endurance. Vélez, bloodied but unbroken, kept coming. His right cheek split slightly, a thin line of crimson marking his effort. Garcia's gloves gleamed under the lights, his punches still fast, still sharp, but his breathing heavier now. The test had turned into a marathon, and the veteran refused to go away. The crowd could feel it, the tension, the pride, the echo of leather against flesh. Ryan slipped and countered, played matador to Vélez's bull, his left hook landing again and again like a whip. Still, Jayson smiled through it, shaking his head, taunting, whispering, "You'll remember me after this." And he was right, because every second of that war was forcing Garcia to evolve, to think like a champion, to react like one. The fight wasn't about a knockout anymore. It was about proving that when pushed, he wouldn't crack. Every exchange echoed with the sound of two careers colliding, one rising, one refusing to fall. The final round was pure heart. Both men came out swinging. No backing down, no wasted motion. Protect yourself at all times, the referee warned again. But they were already too deep in battle to hear it. Garcia's combinations flew in bursts of brilliance, snapping Vélez's head back with precision. Vélez, tired but proud, answered with everything left in him. The crowd stood in awe, a wave of respect rolling through the arena. When the bell rang, they both lowered their gloves and embraced, no words, just mutual recognition. The announcement came moments later. By unanimous decision from Victorville, California, The Flash, Ryan Garcia, the arena erupted. Yet the truest moment of the night came when Jayson Vélez himself took the belt and placed it around Garcia's waist, a gesture of respect from a warrior to the next generation. Ryan Garcia had promised a knockout, but earned something more valuable: experience, composure, and respect. As he left the ring that night, 15-0 and battle-tested, the boy wonder had become a fighter. And in the echo of that crowd, one truth remained: the Flash had been tested, and the Flash had passed.